How's it going, guys? This is Flash back out again with yet another fantasy football draft. This is my fourth Yahoo Pro League. Close that out. We have the seventh pick this time, and according to Yahoo's panel of experts, this delivered the second best winning percentage last year in 2018, which is interesting. So it just goes to show you that sometimes it's not so much the position you get, it's just what you do with it. And I think from last year, I wonder if the second spot delivered the worst results, because that was the Le'Veon Bell pick for those who rolled the dice on him. Stop seeing this head. All right. Close this. So I'm looking to grab Connor. I already have. I'll put Johnson on there because I haven't grabbed him yet. We'll see who falls. I might pounce on Chubb, who stock has taken a rise recently with Duke going to the Texans. We'll see. We got Johnson and Connor, so hopefully both will, at least one of them will be free the time a pick arrives to me. And that probably won't happen now because Connor's probably going to go with the next pick because everyone's going running back. Oh, went Bell. Sweet. Connor, you are mine. I wanted to get exposure to him. Again, I already have Hopkins on another team, but I'll probably get at least 10 teams this year, so I'm not opposed to grabbing Hopkins again at the right price. I just wanted to start this draft off with a running back because I'm trying to diversify my top 5 picks per team so that I have a diverse portfolio when it comes to my top 50 selections. 10 teams, first 5 picks. I want to make sure that I hit on as many as possible and don't get too much of one player, just in case that one player has a rough season. Of course, I could go the other way, but I'm all about valued diversity with my drafts. As in, obviously diversifying my players, but making sure that I'm capitalizing on value, discounts, aired picks from people before me, picks before me, and just pouncing on those who make poor reaches. So we'll see what we do. I'll put Adams just went. I already have Julio and Thomas. I'll put Cook up there, and I'll put Hill up there. And what I plan to do with my next pick, I'll put Kelsey up there as well. I might go Hill and then see if I could pair him with Mahomes in round 3 because I'm hoping to get a Hill Mahomes team. I didn't have that last year. I had Mahomes, or maybe I did. No, I had a Mahomes Kelsey team last year. I didn't have a Mahomes Hill team. It's kind of a bummer. So Kelsey went. So Kelsey goes, it's Hill or Cook. Let's just see. Should I draft Hill or Cook? in PPR, half point PPR. Let's just see. I don't want standard. I want half. I did say Hill. That's a tough one. I'm actually going to go Cook. I think I'll go Hills, Mahomes another time. I'm just not feeling. It'll be interesting to see what happens with these next two picks. All right. So I have a share of Hilton. Gordon goes, so Max on the table. Huh. That's interesting. I'm trying to think what I do with Mac. I might see if I could get. I'm actually going to go with. Should I do Allen or Freeman? Allen or Hilton? I'll go Zach Ertz, actually. The reason why is because I'm going to just get tight end out of the way, and then with 6 picks left, I want to see if I could get Freeman or carry on with my next pick. If not, I'll go Thielen or Diggs or Robert Woods. I don't have Robert Woods on my team yet, but here's the thing. And I guess I could have gone Mac, but just thinking about construction. I wanted to get a share of Ertz somewhere. I know that there's a lot of negative regression talk. He had a great rapport with Foles, but if Wentz has a comeback year, and I mean, I'm not sold that Wentz and Ertz can't develop chemistry. I think they can if Wentz stays healthy, which again is a big wild card. Nothing wrong in drafting running backs first 3 picks. I just might have been a panic pick there. Not going to lie, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go Hilton, Allen. I have a share of Hilton already, and I did do a private cash league where I got Mac already, so I'm looking to, again, diversify. And I think if I can get Wentz later on, that's going to be my plan. I can get that quarterback tight end combination. So I'll see if I can get Wentz later in the draft. But with 4 picks, look at all these guys. I'll be happy with either one. Wow, Henry goes way too early. So we'll see. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I'll take Hilton, Allen up top if they're available. But I think from there, I'll do carry on. And what about Freeman? Freeman kind of makes me nervous, though. Got my personalized rankings here. Thielen, Diggs. We'll see. Hopefully, so Allen goes. Cooper goes. I'm going to carry on and not look back with this next pick. I just like that the Lions have that bye week on 5, but this is one of those things where it's easy. I'll get Hilton. If Johnson goes here, I'll take Hilton because that's a steal, getting Hilton that at pick 34. I'm surprised Henry and Fournette went at 29 to 30. That doesn't seem to make sense to me personally. So Hilton goes. Go carry on. Got 12 picks now. And I got different bye weeks represented and all. So, but this is where we're at. Reset the deck here. We got Godwin, Cooks, Lockett, Boyd available. Did Cooks just go? Yeah. So I'm going to grab Godwin if he sticks around. If not, I'll pivot to Boyd, and that will be how I play this next move here. So always know the move ahead of your next one, or know the next move after the one in front of you. This guy's using up a lot of time. Let's see. Oh, did Godwin go? He went. Shoot. Well, I guess that makes Boyd. So Tyler Boyd went. I was hoping Godwin would stick around, but what I'll do not an ideal situation. I might draft Green. I'll set Green next. And I know that his rank is way up there. But I don't think he's going to miss that much time. I know he's an injury risk. But let's see. Let me just look up Lockett, Green. Not standard. I don't want standard. Why won't you work? The site is pain in the butt sometimes. Fantasy Pros website is so difficult to navigate sometimes. Lockett seems great for standard more than he does. But here's the thing about Lockett is that he doesn't have Baldwin ahead of him. So what I might actually see, I might try this. I might grab Lockett and then pair him with Wilson. So we'll see. I want to, because here's the thing. I can do that, and then I'll put Wentz on here. Those are the two quarterbacks I'll aim to go for. We'll just see how this draft shakes out. Carson, Montgomery, White. So I had to take Boyd there because he wouldn't have made it to me the next round. And I don't want Allen Robinson to be the first running back I pick off. Sorry, I know he's ranked high here, but I don't agree with that at all. His ADP is more indicative of where he'll finish. Actually, I think that when you take the difference of the ADP and X rank for Allen Robinson on Yahoo, that you'll probably get a more realistic idea of where he'll finish up. So round pick in the late 70s, around 80. If Lockett goes, I'll just get Green as insurance because, I mean, maybe that's too risky. I'm glad Allen Robinson went. I think so. Ingram goes. I want to get Green, but essentially, they're kind of handcuffed. I'll go Lockett and see if Green's available next. Not to mention, first 6 picks all have different bye weeks. So as far as construction from a bye week perspective, not a bad construction. We'll just we'll see how things go. Here's the thing about the Bengals that I like. Green's health is a wild card, but they're going to be trailing in a lot of games, which means they're going to have to throw it. And Boyd does better with Green there, or at least he has historically. So, I mean, what if Boyd gets hurt and then Green is actually the one who's healthy, which would be super ironic because Green is the one who gets hurt all the time. But I think what I'm going to do is go Green, Wilson, Yeah, I guess I could have. Green is there. So next I'll get Wilson, and I'll be happy if I get Wilson. I know some might say there's a headache. I might be creating a headache for me trying to pick between Boyd or Green. And that's true. A lot of championships are won on starts and sits. This is not quite a running back handcuff situation with Boyd and Green. It's all about playing the injury risk. I think Boyd is going to have plenty of volume. And again, the Bengals are going to be trailing a lot of games. I don't think the Bengals are a great team. I think they're going to finish with a losing record. I don't think they're playoff bound this year. So they're going to be throwing the ball more. Boyd's going to be a monster in games that Green is out. But like I said, if Green is in and he is healthy, then I'll start him. I mean, he is he was on the wide receiver 1-2 borderline, until he got hurt. If I know that it might sound silly now, but maybe this year he could stay in case he could be healthy, and maybe that's the only injury issue he wrestles with all year. Not likely, but in case, I still think getting him in the late 60s is a discount. Or it's worth, like, you're at a point getting him in the 7th or later rounds where, all right, if it didn't work out, it worked out. But you're getting someone with very high upside. It's just a health concern. I feel like if you draft Green in the first 4 rounds right now, and even maybe the 5th round, I think you could do better. So I'm not going to beat myself up. I don't foresee myself beating myself up that I grabbed Green where I did. Remember when everyone loved Drake? That's why you wait and draft in at least this time. So Murray goes early. Ridley's off the board, who is not a bad pick. But, Drake. I really hope Wilson is there. I'm going to get off the page because I feel like sometimes when I look, I feel like when I'm watching those picks, it's not as painful to come back to the screen and realize they're off the board as to actually watch the player disappear in front of you. So call me a coward. Call me cheap or whatever. That's how I roll. I'd rather just think about my next couple picks than watch the guys in my queue disappear. I might go Tevin Coleman or Kirk because I might just finish out my wide receiver core. And by core, I mean my core 4 at wide receiver, and then I could just breathe easy. And I don't have to worry about tight end or running back. I still got half the draft left. I'm taking Wilson if he's there. Yes, he's there. Boom. I will gladly take that, and Kirk and Westbrook are still there. I'll put Robbie in queue, Fuller in queue. I'll put Cohen in queue. Why not? I can't believe I grabbed Robbie so early when I did. I'll have to see if I can clean up that panic pick. And who knows? He might. Because here's the thing. The problem with that Robbie Anderson pick in draft number 1 is that I baked all the upside out of him by drafting him when I did. I looked at my board, and he was the next option on my board. But the thing is that, Robbie Anderson went, so yay! I will take. This is going to be viewed as a stretch pick. I'm just going to trust my gut on this. I know that groin injury doesn't seem to be super serious, and also just gives more depth at the wide receiver position. I don't have to worry about duplicate bye weeks. Now I got 3 different bye weeks represented on with 9, 11, and 10. But now Wentz goes up top. I do need to get a running back, so I will put this team definitely has a different look than my other teams, but if I can land Wentz with my next pick, that means I got the Wilson Lockett combination, and then if Wilson goes down and by week 11, I could slip Wentz in there to pair with Ertz. So Mike Brown. Who was this guy? McCoy? Good grief. I feel like there's always a dunce team in the vast majority of these drafts where it's like you feel a little better. You just do a couple hours of homework. Yeah, there goes Eckler. I'm going to pounce on Wentz here. Although getting Murray, Latavius Murray, wouldn't be a bad pick. So I'll go Murray next because he has standalone value as RB3, in my opinion, in that offense. So it's right now I'm going to go Wentz or Murray and then readjust. So Fuller goes. I know I'm getting my second quarterback at pick 10. I just can't help myself. Now I'm going to QB, which would be team number 2. So we will see what we can do. Hooper is if we go 2 tight end, but I feel like with 2 quarterback, 2 tight end, you're just maybe not the best idea in the world. If you're going to get 2 of 1, like either go 2 quarterback. All right, cool. Now I don't have to worry about a kicker. I feel like getting the best kicker might, here's the thing about kickers. Unless you're getting like a top 2, like in this case, Zerline or Tucker, might as well just wait till the last pick to get one. Because if the projections are right, I mean, this is almost 35, 40 points better than the Chicago defense. And I'm not saying that Zerline's going to kick 40 more points than Chicago defense. But there seems to be more volatility with defenses on a week-to-week basis. And you could say the same about kickers, but when you're comparing the elite kickers to a defense, say, that's 5th ranked or lower, you can make the case that, for continuity, unless I'm going to keep Greg on my team. If you get a kicker that you don't want to cut, that says something about the quality of the kicker that you have. So next pick, I guess Freeman at this point makes sense. Freeman makes sense. I'm going to grab Freeman if he's still available. And then if not, I'll go Breda because I think Breda's picking up steam right now. And Coleman makes a lot of sense, but Breda is just kind of a Swiss Army knife there who has familiarity. McKinnon, I'm just not a McKinnon believer. So Coleman knows the playbook, but I think Matt could be used both on the ground and in the air potentially. So, and I like his bye week that it's early. So that is good. Two picks left. Let's see what we can do. I think I might as well just get Freeman here. Don't know what you all think, but I think getting Freeman, pick 114. Let's see where's Royce? How does this nice thing update? Man. I'll go Royce. So yeah, I wouldn't if I'm like being straight up and coaching someone new to fantasy drafting. I would say build as much depth at the running back and receiver position, um, but just have guys in mind that you're a fan of. Like have a collection of guys that are your guys, and don't be afraid to reach up. Because here's the thing: even if your team is not that great, I mean, chances are you're going to enjoy half a season in contention. So might as well enjoy, 2 months of having a team you look forward to watching every given Sunday. Sometimes, like now, high stakes, it's a little different. These are all $20 pro leagues, and one thing I've learned is that I have enough teams where there's going to be a handful that make the playoffs each year, and just there's going to be some that don't make it. So you just want to be able to enjoy the game, enjoy the skill involved, and maybe you play spoiler at the end. I play every week. Do not give up on your team because for me there's a pride element involved. If I might finish out of the playoffs at that fifth spot. However, if I have the third most points, then I know that my team was just a victim of bad luck, and it still was carefully rostered. It was successfully rostered and monitored and revamped throughout the season. Uh, I know most leagues are based on wins and losses, not point total. But at the same time, um, I mean, that's like worst case to be out of contention at the midpoint of the season. Most of you are going to be in it through the last month and won't be eliminated until the last 2 weeks of the season. If you're going to be eliminated, that is. So collecting those points is valuable, which is why, all right, my turn is next here. It's Gallup or Cleveland. I'll go Cleveland just because now I don't have to worry about a defense anymore. We'll do Gallup. Let's see. I got 2 more picks here. I will put Deshaun on there. Let's look at some of these teams so far. This one's good. Has Mayfield and Njoku combo. It has Barkley, Edelman, kind of on the wrong, but they got Jones, Barkley, Freeman, so that's a good team. I like Kirk, so that's going to be a team that it's going to be tough. Mahomes. Oh, this guy is Brown. I don't like Michael as a. Oh, this team is. I think this team might struggle because Michael as your 2 is kind of dicey. Then they got Geis as a 3. Goff, Evans, Wood, Elliott, Mixon, Henry, Jacobs, Sanders. They got some upside picks down here. And I like Evans and I like Wood. Zeke could still have a really great season. Still some ambiguity there. That could be a middle of the pack team. This is the team that took Lindsey early. I don't know if I buy Magnum. Fear of the Dark. Watson, Juju, Defon, McCaffrey. Miller, wide receiver 2. Don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it could work. Woody's wild, Breeze, Thielen. Would have liked this team better if it had the handcuff, particularly Henderson. And this team could do well depending on how Gordon does. So, God bless go. I like this guy. God bless go Broncos. Prescott, Hampton, Hilton, Mack. He has a pair of Colts that could do really well for him. Carson and Ingram. I like this team. It might be sneaky good if Ingram and Carson. I'll put Deshaun Jackson. I'm a Deshaun guy. I mean, why not? But the cool thing is that a lot of these bye weeks, these core bye weeks, are in the second half of the season. So I should have an idea where I stand and can maybe make some moves, some trades. And with this team, I might see if I can get Freeman, the guy who owns Lindsey, to buy into Freeman, and see what I can get back and upgrade my running back depth through that. If I do trade the Bengals, I might see if I could trade them as a bundle deal, potentially. I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm going to put Gallup. I'll go Lewis. What the heck? And what I'll do is I'll see if I can get the Henry owner to buy that. So now, so now I put myself in position. I can make some trades using Freeman or Lewis, who I'm not sold on keeping, but they're valuable pieces where I got them. So, yes. But overall, I like my team, and I appreciate you guys sticking this one out with me. Curious as to your thoughts. I know some of you probably would have drafted differently, maybe like the quarterback tight end pairing or the QB1 wide receiver 1 pairing, or wide receiver 2, depending on how you view certain guys. If you think along my terms when it comes to roster construction, or if you think I should be more, think outside the box more than have this DFS mentality circling in the back. I think if I would have done this draft over, I might, if I hadn't gotten a Sheriff Hilton, I would have gotten Hilton over Ertz, plain and simple. And that would have changed the whole complexion of this team. But it's also nice. Like I do want to get a Kelsey share at some point. Kittle's to me seems like he's going early, but I still want to get at least one share of Kittle's because he was valuable to me last year. And you don't forget those things, Garoppolo back and with the quarterback play upgrades. And I feel like he could be a constant in the 49ers offense where there's kind of this more carousel effect with the wide receiver core there. I like my carry-on pick. I like Connor Cook and carry-on as my first as my running back trio. I know that taking Ertz really was a dagger to just getting that Thielen, Diggs, Woods caliber receiver, which maybe in hindsight I may look back on this team and wish I would have gotten a Thielen instead. But that probably would have meant that I would have had to wait on tight end because I already got Howard, Ingram, and Henry on my other teams. And part of that is because I'm a very big believer on that mid-tier. So I got that mid-tier of tight ends, 4 through 6, accounted for. And I know Ertz, people are saying negative regression in store. Sure. But at any rate, I still feel like even with that negative regression, it's a real possibility. Getting him in the first 40 picks makes a lot of sense. And I just happened to get him right about his ADP. So his rank and ADP are very similar. So I don't know if you want to say that that's a safe pick, but when you have a guy where the spread is hardly anything, you it says something that it at the very least it won't kill you unless barring an unforeseen injury. I got Cook at 14. I reached a little bit on Connor and Cook, but I still feel like those picks are solid, and you just can't go by ADP all the time. You just have to know your rankings and know your, just have a sense of belief through your research. And we'll see. We'll see how things turn out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you had a great time watching this. I'll catch you on